Hello, I'm Chris Denton from the Royal Free Hospital in London and University College London in the UK. Thank you for your interest in our paper, which explores the etiopathogenesis of Scleroderma renal crisis. This is an important and life-threatening complication occurring up to 10% of patients with systemic sclerosis. The anti-RNA polymerase III autoantibody, or ARA, is very strongly associated with an increased risk of scleroderma renal crisis. In our study, we first explored potential genetic associations within the ARA-positive scleroderma population. We performed a two-step genetic analysis, first in 99 patients from our own cohort in London, half of which had had a scleroderma renal crisis, and the other half had not, despite 5 years of follow-up. Scleroderma renal crisis normally occurs within the first 3 years of disease, and we could therefore hypothesize that those patients who hadn't had a renal crisis may be genetically protected from the complication. From this first analysis, which you can see here, we identified 9 SNPs which we felt may be associated, based on this first analysis, with development of a renal crisis in this population. We then went on and performed a validation cohort analysis in a larger number of North American scleroderma patients also positive for the anti-RNA polymerase. This included 40 patients with a scleroderma renal crisis. In this analysis, we confirmed association for one of the SNPs, GPATCH2L. Another of the SNPs, which we did not show statistical replication for, was however of interest. This is the delta 2 catenin associated SNP, because this had been associated in a separate study with scleroderma associated pulmonary arterial hypertension, another important vascular complication. We therefore went on to explore expression of the protein encoded by these two genes in scleroderma renal crisis biopsies, and we showed that both GPATCH2L and delta 2 catenin showed increased expression in patients with scleroderma renal crisis compared to healthy control renal tissue. This is important because it suggests that these may be mediators or relevant to the pathogenesis of scleroderma renal crisis, and the replication of the GPATCH2L genetic association is particularly interesting because this SNP has also been associated with essential hypertension in the general population. Thank you for your interest in our study. I would encourage you to go and read the full paper on the Journal of Rheumatology website.